Hello everyone and welcome to the Phoenix Wright trilogy on the Nintendo Switch. As of this recording, it is currently on sale. I can't say for sure whether it's going to be on sale by the time this video goes up. Although, yeah, whatever. Anyway, doing this episode a little bit differently. This is actually post-recording. Long story short, I accidentally recorded narration and game audio in what's supposed to exclusively be the narration channel. So, the good news is I have the game audio. Bad news is I don't have my own recording, and I mean that is fine. I don't know why I took so long to select that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the good news is I have the game audio. Bad news is I don't have my narration. But anyway, I mean again, I remember what it was. That's fine because the old narration kind of sucked anyway. So I hadn't really done this in a while. Anyway, I don't know, just kind of wanted to talk about stuff as I watch myself playing this game. Thought it was kind of funny that, I don't know, it's a little bit funny that, like, it blatantly shows the guy who actually killed. I guess it's, like, if I had to guess, because, like, as of right now, I'm only, like, about half an hour into the game. Like, well, what you're seeing right now is what I have as of this recording. There's no voice acting. That doesn't really matter though. I think it was like a Game Boy Advance game or something. So I mean, honestly, I'm impressed at the upscaling. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about, I guess, just the channel in general. Yeah. So. The Legend of Heroes Trails of Cold Steel playthrough is still being uploaded. Yeah, I've actually already finished the game. And there's something I kind of addressed in the final episode that, hasn't gone up as of now that I want to go ahead and just kind of get out of the way here. Because, you're actually going to see it. I've decided not to do a Let's Play of Cold Steel 2. In fact, I mean, that's kind of set in stone given I've actually already completed Cold Steel 2, like on my own time, as well as Trails in the Sky 1. I'm currently playing the second one of that. First of all, I will say it is actually impressive how much of an improvement Cold Steel 2 is on Cold Steel 1, because, like, I mean, if you watched, those episodes, which if you did, I mean, I'm impressed you actually stuck through, like, over 100 episodes. My gosh. I think there's going to be about 112 total. I think. I need to kind of relook at everything. Anyway, where was I going with that? Have I mentioned yet I don't actually have a script? Oh yeah, anyway, but I mean, anyways, I mean, you probably, if you saw Cold Steel 1, my playthrough of it, I think very highly of that game. It is a very good game. Like, I'd probably, like, if I had to give it, one of those iconic arbitrary numbers that game critics are known to hand out, I'd probably give it, like, a 9 out of 10. Like, on, like, a bad day. Maybe, like, 8.5 on, like, a terrible day, but, like, 9 is about a reasonable one. Like, because the game has flaws, but that's okay. Yeah, it's funny. Before I played this, by the way, I never, yeah, this is like the first time I've ever like played like an Ace Attorney game. And it's kind of the first time I've ever really seen Phoenix Wright, period. Like, I mean, yeah, I've seen him around. Like, you know, I played a little bit of Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and he was in that. So, like, yeah, I saw him in that game. Go figure. But he's so, like, he is not what I expected. Anyway, yeah, tutorial case. Yeah, Larry Butts. What kind of name is that? But yeah, Cold Steel 2 is just like, wow. And that is like actually an incredible game right there. Like, wow. I mean, the ending freaking floored me. And then the game went on like for like 10 more hours after that. It's kind of weird. Like, there's like this one segment, like basically after the end, that just, I would never have expected anything like that. Oh yeah, this is me kind of fumbling around with the controls. Who is the victim in this case? I almost picked Cinder Block. Because you always see Cindy, it's like, okay, this guy's not named Sind anything. And then you see Cinder, it's like, oh, I mean, all these other names are pretty freaking dumb. Yeah, so anyway, I just kind of thoughts on Trails in the Sky, you know, what I've played so far. It's really funny, because, like, if no one told me that the game was, like, made before Cold Steel, you know, apart from the obvious downgrading graphics, I honestly probably wouldn't really be able to tell, like, I mean, I know that sounds weird, but, like, it does not have, like, first game in a series energy to me. You know, like, it kind of reminds me of Star Wars, in a way, where you sort of, like, you sort of just, like, get thrown into the middle of an existing story. You know, like, you don't see the very beginning. You know, whether you're starting with episode 1 or episode 4, aka the first one, technically. But, this part was funny to me. Anyway, but yeah, like, yeah, it's the Trails in the Sky 1, or, you know, I'm sure I've been triggering everybody. It's Trails in the Sky first chapter, as it's called, even though the game itself has chapters, which kind of makes it more confusing. Funny thing, I actually kind of duped a friend by saying, like, alright, I'm finally moving on to second chapter, and he's like, wow, you got through the first game already? It's like, no, I got through the first chapter of the first game. But anyway, he took it well. He also didn't take it well. It's kind of one of those things. Anyway, yes, I'm just gonna call it Sky 1, Trails in the Sky 1, whatever. But yeah, like, I was worried because, like, you know, Cold Steel 1 already felt like a pretty good introduction to the world, and I was kind of afraid that Sky 1 was gonna be like, you know, like, what's a bracer? A bracer is a guy that does the thing. And just like, oh my gosh, it's like I already know all this because I played the other game. You know, which, I mean, obviously people that, you know, played Sky 1 when it came out wouldn't have had Cold Steel 2 because, like, it came out like 10 years later or something. Need to check the exact dates, but whatever. But yeah, no, it didn't have that. It was so weird. It was so weird, like, yeah. That said and done, I will say I do think I'm I'm a good bit more endeared to Cold Steel's cast overall, at least. So I mean, I'm kind of saying that, realizing that, you know, I've played 2 Cold Steel games and 1 Sky game, so things are a little bit lopsided already. But I don't know. I mean, I understand there's a little bit of, like, you know, Gen 1er bias, if you're familiar with Pokemon terminology. You know, a Gen 1er in that community being someone that's like, oh, only red and blue are like the only good games. Everything else after that was like, ice cream Pokemon. You know, okay, I gotta talk about the ice cream Pokemon. Well, first of all, it's kind of funny to me how long it took me to, like, think of my answer here. Wow, that is taking so... Dude, just... Okay. Anyway. I'm gonna be honest. I don't get the issue with the ice cream Pokemon. Like... I just don't... Like, why... Okay. Like, I hate to, like, point out, like, the magnet Pokemon or the fake Pokeball Pokemon. Oh yeah, this is where the game got a little more interesting for me, because, like, up until now it was just like, you know, pick one of 2 choices. Like, ooh, wow, lawyering. I love reading this game, but anyway, where was I? Anyway, yeah, in the original recording, I was getting a little bit too hype over me picking the right choices in what's basically a tutorial case. It's like, oh yeah, I caught him on this thing. It's like in hindsight, I was just like, dude, they made it obvious on purpose. It's to kind of warm you up to the game. Speaking of, I'm actually kind of surprised at, like, how quickly the game started. Like, I was expecting a little bit of time, because like it just, like, jumped straight into everything, right? And as a result, it was like, I can't think straight right now. Yeah, I was just, like, overhyping myself. Like, oh yeah, I'm so smart for thinking of the thing it was obviously telling me to do. Anyway, yeah, Sky 1. That said, yeah, I think, like, the part of it that kind of, like, makes it a little bit funny is that, okay, I guess small spoiler for anyone that played Cold Steel but not Sky, which, I mean, okay, anyway. Well, now who am I kidding? If you played Cold Steel, you would know this. Olivert, Prince Olivert, is in Sky under the pseudonym of Olivier, and in fact, he's actually a playable character. It was surprising to me how quickly you actually end up, like, finding him. Like, I mean, there's a little bit more circumstance to that, but I don't want to, like, get into, like, spoiling the nature of the game, so I'm not gonna do that. Oh yeah, this part, like, he went to law school, right? How does he not know what a cross-examination is? I mean, okay, like, I get. I don't know. It's like I get that they have to tell the player, but could they have not been a little bit more nuanced about it? It's like you're playing as a guy. Like, yeah, the player may not know what a cross-examination is, or you know that like people lie under oath. But I don't think Phoenix Wright wouldn't know that. It's like, really? Was there no other way to say any of this? Anyway, yeah, so back to Oliver / Olivier. Yeah, he joins up like super early. And it was kind of funny to me, because like, I played like a lot of like prequel games, where like, you know, like the first game has like this like super popular character, right? And then like, you know, that character also shows up in, you know, the prequel that's made after the fact, and they like, you know, you find them like super early because like, you know, like you the developer know that your fans want to see that character, you know, so you kind of try to justify like shoving him into the game as quickly as possible. So it's kind of funny to me when Olivier showed up so early. I don't know, it's just it kind of played into the whole thing where it's like if nobody told me that this game was made first. I mean, again, obviously Sky is a a noticeable graphical downgrade from Cold Steel, but I mean, look at like Valkyria Chronicles, for example. You had like PS3 games, and then like I think you had, what were they, like on PSP? Which let me look that up right now, because I mean I'm not actually playing right now. Yep, yeah, here's where I think I'm getting clever. Yep, PSP. Yeah. Anyway, so, but yeah, I mean, stuff like that happens, right? So, it's not exactly unheard. I mean, granted, Cold Steel 1 was a Vita game, which is kind of like the last handheld ever, besides the Switch. So, what are the odds that anything's gonna look worse? Yeah, that came out after the fact. I mean, obvious, you know, context. Yeah, it is a good question. Indeed. Oh, right. I remember thinking like, oh man, he's coming with more lies. And more lies and more lies. It's like, why are you always lying? Oh my god. Anyway, yes. I guess it's kind of funny, because like, when I think about, you know, things under like under the scope of Sky being the first game, it's kind of funny to me that like this kind of frankly random side character who is playable, but you know, yeah, like this, it's just like this random like kind of side character. He's ultimately a side character. Like, well, let's be frank about that. He's a side character, and yet he kind of ends up becoming like the big good, so to speak, of, I mean, at least the first two Cold Steel games, because I mean, he's the one that kind of facilitates everything that, you know, all the good stuff that happens there. So, I like how his toupee just kind of fell off. Yeah, it's funny. I actually probably could like put the actual audio back on at this point, because like a good bit ago is where I finally like realized that I was on that you know, the game audio was infringing on the narration audio audio channel, and I'd fixed it already. I don't know why I didn't just kind of stop here and just kind of let the game take over. Oh, then again, I already said the narration of this episode kind of sucks. I have not done this in a while. Anyway, I guess just kind of talking about... Oh, I mean, okay, I said at the very beginning I wanted to talk more about this channel going forward. And I mean, I kind of did, but only in the context of the Trail series. Actually, hold on, this part's actually kind of funny. Oh, and, not this one. Oh wait, no, I think this is it. If only you knew, Phoenix. He's a lawyer. Actually, he's Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. It's literally the name of the game. This may seem like a joke, but hear it out. And here's me kind of thinking, and then, you know, I totally realize, you know, that there's one small hole. Definitely. Yep, I definitely realized that. I didn't just pick yes just because. Yep. Anywho, yeah. Obviously, I'm playing this. This isn't exactly a platinum game in terms of length. Actually, then again, they made Nier Automata and Astral Chain. Actually, is Astral... Whatever. I don't know anything about Astral Chain. I think it's like longer than 10 hours. Anyway, but yeah, these games are kind of nice and short, and you can kind of save like literally whenever you want to, which is nice. So that's kind of why I went for them ultimately. I also got the Mega Man 0/ZX collection on the same sale. So if you want to check those out, by the way, I'd go ahead and do that. Actually, let me take a look real quick. I don't want to get anyone's hopes up. Nintendo Switch sale. Okay, so by the time this episode goes up, there should be one more day. I should have about 16 hours to, yeah, 16 hours. So good luck everybody on that one. And well, I mean, granted, you're probably an adult. You can probably take care of yourself on knowing when sales are happening. Anyway, yeah, 0 and ZX, I'm thinking about tackling those too. Because, you know, Mega Man games are never very long, right? So... Oh, right. I kind of got too much into watching. Anyway, yeah, so that's where we are. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like and maybe consider subscribing if you'd like to see more. Till then, see you around.